Do all girls bleed the first time they have sex? You might have heard that everyone with a vagina bleeds the first time they have sex, and wondered if this is true. Well, the answer is no, not everyone bleeds the first time they have sex. Some people bleed when they have sex for the first time, but others don't. Both are perfectly normal. Listen to find out why some people bleed the first time they have sex, what the hymen is, what can make the hymen break, and if you can tell if your hymen is still there. Why do some people bleed the first time they have sex? You may bleed when you have penetrative sex for the first time because of your hymen breaking. What is a hymen? The hymen is a thin piece of skin that partially covers the entrance to the vagina. It usually breaks during sex, if it hasn't already broken before, which makes it bleed. If your hymen has already broken, you may not bleed when you have sex for the first time. What can make the hymen break? Other things, besides having sex for the first time, can make your hymen break, including activities such as horse riding and other sports, using tampons. So, if someone has a broken hymen, it doesn't always mean they've had sex before. You may not know your hymen has broken, because it doesn't always hurt or bleed. Does it hurt when your hymen breaks? When you have vaginal sex for the first time, it may feel a bit uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. There are things that can help make having sex for the first time less uncomfortable, including enjoying foreplay, such as kissing and touching first, making sure your vagina is well lubricated. You can try using a lubricant, being gentle and going slowly. When to worry about bleeding and sex. If it's not your first time having sex and you bleed, you should talk to a doctor. This is because bleeding during or after sex can be a sign of a health condition that needs treatment. If you're going to have vaginal sex, beyond the hymen, tissue inside the vaginal walls can tear and bleed. If you're going to have vaginal sex, take care to avoid anything that could scrape the inner walls. Get in the mood. One of the best ways to reduce your chances of discomfort and bleeding is to ensure that there's enough lubrication. Your vagina will naturally produce its own lubrication when you're aroused, so try to get in the mood a while before you're penetrated. Clitoral stimulation can help with this. Use lube. Whether or not your vagina is producing enough natural lubrication, it might be a good idea to use lube anyway. Using lube can reduce friction and scraping inside the vagina. If you're going to have anal sex, if your anus is going to be penetrated, whether it's with fingers, a toy, or a penis, it's important to be extra careful. Anal tissue is even more delicate than vaginal tissue, and unlike the vagina, the anus doesn't produce its own lubrication. Because of this, anal sex can lead to bleeding and pain if you aren't careful.